on a 5-acre plot at the University of Ghana. Phase 1 of the project is on course for completion by the end of the year. Mr. Speaker, under the trade and industry sector, we are committed to providing targeted support to the pharmaceutical, textiles, and garments, as well as the automotive industries. Our efforts aim to attract new investments, expand job creation, and enhance value addition. Under our 1D1F flagship initiative, we supported 321 factories across 142 districts nationwide, creating jobs for about 170,000 Ghanaians. Mr. Speaker, guided by the Strategic Anchor Industries Framework, 13 vehicle assembly plants has been established and 4,700 vehicles produced locally. We aim to penetrate the sub-regional market through the Africa Continental Free Trade Area Framework and pursue local assembly of electric vehicles in line with our electric vehicle policy. Mr. Speaker, Ghana is being positioned as an internationally competitive tourism destination. Tourist arrivals have increased from about 500,000 in 2023 to almost 600,000 in the first half of 2024. This is an increase in several hundreds of thousands of tourists. And this has led to receipts of about $1.8 billion US compared to $1.5 billion over the same period last year. To complement this progress, we've enhanced tourism infrastructure, marketing, supply chain links through the redevelopment of key tourist sites such as Eburi Gardens, Yahasantua Mausoleum, the Museum at Ejisu, and the Pico Slave Camp. Mr. Speaker, we have made significant progress in enhancing sports infrastructure, talent development, and ensuring that our athletes have the resources they need to excel. Ghana successfully hosted the 13th African Games on the 23rd March 2024 in Accra at the new International Standard Multi-Complex Sports Facility at Botima and the newly commissioned University of Ghana Sports Stadium. We placed 6th in the medals table with a total of 69 medals, 19 gold, 29 silver, and 21 bronze. This is Ghana's best performance at an international multi-sport event so far. Mr. Speaker, the Black Challenge of Ghana also participated and won the trophy in the 2024 African Amputee Football Cup of Nations tournament, hosted and organized in Egypt. This win secured the team a spot at the 2026 Amputee World Cup tournament. Mr. Speaker, government continued to implement various social intervention programs to protect the poor and the vulnerable, to alleviate poverty and improve the country's human development indices. Speaker, there is empirical evidence that education is the great leveler that improves opportunities for any child along the social stratification. As UNICEF has already pointed out, education is a key social and cultural right and plays an important role in reducing poverty and child labor. Furthermore, education promotes democracy, tolerance. To these objectives, government has over the last 8 years prioritized education. This is to ensure that over time, skills will be improved to protect and impact productivity, to grow the economy, and to improve living standards. Mr. Speaker, in 2008, His Excellency the President, then the flag bearer of the new Patriotic Party, announced the policy of free senior high school. And for 8 years, he kept his conviction. On 2nd March 2017, government allocated 400 million Ghana cedis to implement free senior high school. We also indicated that our oil resources will fund the program, as the President believes that every Ghanaian child must benefit from the oil resources of our country. The impact of the program is evident. To date, a total of over 9.9 billion Ghana cedis has been spent on the program. And a cumulative total of have benefited from this initiative. Many of what will prevent in the 2023-2024 year. Additionally, we are constructing 10 STEM schools and 10 STEM centers across the country. We are also building the first 2 STEM colleges of education in Karga in the northern region and Tepa in the Ashanti region. We have distributed 900,000 tablets for secondary school students. Quality education has been given considerable focus, Mr. Speaker, because the performance of the students at WAXI in 2023 is also the best since 2015. Mr. Speaker, to ease the financial burden on parents and guardians of public basic school pupils, government disbursed about 38 million Ghana cedis as capitation grant for the first half of 2024 to ensure schools have adequate resources to provide quality education. Additionally, funds have been released for the payment of feeding grants to all public schools, public special schools, institutions for the handicapped for the 2024 academic year, thereby further supporting the vulnerable students in our country. Mr. Speaker, it is worth noting that the capitation grant has increased from 5 Ghana cedis in 2016 to 15 Ghana cedis in 2024. Mr. Speaker, the Ghana School Feeding Program commenced in 2006-2007 with 1,950 beneficiaries. Over the years, there has been considerable growth of the program, from 1.6 million beneficiaries in 2016 to over 3.8 million beneficiaries in 2023, and is currently in the region of 4 million beneficiaries. In 1 year, Mr. Speaker, we have added over 200,000 students. Mr. Speaker, an amount of over 662 million Ghana cedis was paid to caterers as at the end of June 2024. The program continues to provide employment of over 34,000 caterers and cooks, especially women, to generate income to enable them to take care of their families. The program has also created a ready market for local farmers, thereby boosting the local economy. Mr. Speaker, to protect the real value of the benefits for most of our vulnerable households, government has, in the last 2 years, increased the LEAP grant from 64 Ghana cedis in 2022 to 256 Ghana cedis in 2024 per beneficiary, meaning that we have doubled the grant every year for the last 2 years. This measure ensures that the program's outcomes are effectively achieved. Under the enhanced LEAP, the number of beneficiary households has increased from 212,917 people in 2016 to 324,073 in 2024. Mr. Speaker, as part of government digitalization agenda, the e-health project is progressing steadily with concentration on health centers and polyclinics this year. As of June 2024, a total of 49 polyclinics and 144 health centers have been connected, enhancing access to patient data at the point of care, claims management, and real-time biosurveillance data. This has significantly strengthened the country's health delivery system. Mr. Speaker, the following projects were completed between January and June 2024. The Urology and Nephrology Center of Excellence at the Kwalepu Teaching Hospital, district hospitals at Kumeu and Fomina, and CHIPS compounds at Debiso, Nkrofo, Denchira, Anani Krum, and Kwanyaku, and many more CHIPS compounds across the country. Mr. Speaker, as part of government efforts to increase access to health service, the National Health Insurance Authority reviewed the benefit package to include childhood cancers, prostate cancer, mental health care, annual health check, dialysis services, and care for sickle cell patients. Mr. Speaker, by the end of 2024, the NHIS intends to increase enrollment of active members from 14.5 million, representing 44.3% coverage, to 20.8 million, representing 63.5% of the population. NHIS will also intensify sensitization on the electronic enrollment platforms by introducing cashless payments, integration with GiveMix platform, e-receipts, and e-payments. Mr. Speaker, government continues to honor the payment of trainee allowances. A total amount of 290 million Ghana cedis was paid as allowances to 104,000 nursing trainees from January to June 2024. Similarly, a total of 260 million Ghana cedis has been released as allowances to 67,000 teacher trainees for the 2023-24 academic year. Mr. Speaker, government initiated the implementation of various activities towards achieving effective management and utilization of water resources, as well as improving the general water quality. Works progress steadily under the Water for All agenda. The following projects are completed: Ejura Water System, Wunensi Water System, and Bole Water System. The following are at various stages of completion: Wenchi Water Supply Project, Sekendita Gradi Water Supply Project, Keta Water Supply Project, Yendi Water Supply, Tamale Water Supply, Damongo Water Supply, Sunyari Water Supply, and Techiman Water Supply Project. Government is further committed to increasing access to improve sanitation and water supply in Greater Accra and Ashanti regions. A total of about 40,000 and 24,000 household sanitation facilities were provided in the Greater Accra metropolitan area and the Greater Kumasi metropolitan area, respectively, benefiting over 400,000 people. Mr. Speaker, our people are burdened with long commutes and mountain stress due to the lack of decent and conveniently located housing. Government, in partnership with private developers and the banks, is looking at building high-rise, reasonable price accommodations within the cities of Accra and Kumasi, and in future extend to other big cities. In the coming weeks, the Minister for Works and Housing will present the full housing reform package for the private sector at its core. Speaker, government during the first half of the year continued to implement the National Rental Assistance Scheme, which has benefited 2,074 individuals to date. Mr. Speaker, under the National Food Flood Control Program, over 1,000 kilometers of drains have been newly constructed, rechanneled, and maintained nationwide to reduce the impact of the perennial devastating floods. In addition, towards the construction of houses for households affected by the controlled spillage of the Akosombo Dam were completed following extensive engagement with stakeholders. Mr. President, Mr. Speaker, I'm coming to conclusion. We stand at the midpoint of 2024 with a strong economic performance and a brighter future. This mid-year fiscal policy review confirms our unwavering commitment to fiscal consolidation, economic growth, and protecting the vulnerable in our nation. Today, I've outlined the remarkable progress we've made in fiscal consolidation. Our economy is rebounding, evidenced by the stability we have demonstrated. Our progress enables us to be confident about the future. This is the result of effective implementation of policies and programs outlined in the 2024 budget. Together, Mr. Speaker, we have successfully navigated challenges in the last 7 months. We continue to stay the course and achieve successes with the IMF ECF program. We have concluded the external debt restructuring with the OCC, Eurobond holders, and key energy sector. Kept our promise to GDEP bondholders with coupon payments. We've invested in our infrastructure, our people, and our future. And we've seized this opportunity to commence reforms in public financial management, financial sector, and state-owned enterprises. More importantly, we are rebuilding trust, we are regaining policy credibility, restoring confidence in the economy, and raising hope for our businesses and families. We are proving that quick recovery is possible. We are proving that growth with fiscal consolidation is possible. Mr. Speaker, this mindset of possibility is critical. That is what transforms individuals, families, and communities, businesses, and nations alike. It has been the same mindset that has guided our actions as a government since 2017. Mr. Speaker, it took a possibility mindset to expand and improve existing strategic social interventions to cater for the vulnerable in our society. That possibility mindset underpinned how we invested in the Ghana School Feeding Program to increase beneficiaries from about 1.6 million people in 2016 to about 3.8 million beneficiaries this year. Increased spending on LEAP from 49 million Ghana cedis in 2016 to 423 million Ghana cedis today to support 350,000 households, compared with 212,000 households in 2016. Increased spending on the NHIS from 1.1 billion Ghana cedis in 2016 to 6.5 billion Ghana cedis in 2024. And through digitalization, we've increased active membership from 10.8 million in 2018 to over 17 million people. We've increased the capitation grant per child from 5 Ghana cedis in 2016 to 15 Ghana cedis in 2024. We've increased the share of the District Assembly Common Fund to persons with disabilities by 50%. We've doubled the number of student loan recipients from 30,000 on average per year to 58,000 per year currently by removing the guarantor policy under the Student Loan Trust Fund. Mr. Speaker, this critical mindset of possibilities was our guide when we introduced the free senior high school program, which has increased total enrollment year on year from about 800,000 in the 2016-2017 academic year to 1.4 million in the 2023-2024 academic year. We introduced the National Rental Assistance Scheme to assist people with rent advance, which has benefited over 2,000 people so far. Introduced a medical drone delivery service and onboarded over 2,700 health facilities. Introduced mobile money interoperability, which has led to Ghana achieving 95% access in financial inclusion. Introduced the Infrastructure for Poverty Eradication program, which delivered 1,609 completed projects in all 275 constituencies. Introduced the Zongo Development Fund and constructed over 200 infrastructure projects in Zongo communities. Introduced the National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Program, NEP, to support over 10,000 beneficiaries. And introduced the paperless system at the ports and digitalized the operations of the DVLA. Introduced the 1G1F initiative to diversify our economy. To date, 321 1G1F projects are at various stages of completion, with 169 fully functional and provided over 170,000 direct and indirect jobs. Introduced the Planting for Food and Jobs to provide critical inputs and improve food security. Instituted the Year of Return and Beyond the Return, and the December in Ghana initiative to promote tourism. Created 6 new regions to deepen decentralization and participatory development. Mr. Speaker, that mindset of possibilities has enabled us to keep the lights on, to clear all accumulated PTAs up to 2022, constructing 120 courts with 80 completed and 150 bungalows for the judiciary. Restore teacher and nurses training allowances that were cancelled. Protect the deposits of 4.6 million Ghanaians by saving the banking system from collapse. Absorb examination fees for all students for BEC and WACC examinations. Guarantee access to the critical drug for sickle cell patients in Ghana. And this is the first of such initiative in Africa. Network and digitalize the records of all teaching, regional, and district hospitals in Ghana to ensure that referrals are possible without the patient's folder being physically transported. Implement the motor insurance database to enable verification of insurance status on mobile phones. Pass the right to information law. Distribute 20,000 LPG cook stoves and about 430,000 Japa stoves to promote clean cooking. Mr. Speaker, the same mindset of possibilities was present when we faced COVID in 2020. We demonstrated compassion to ensure that we paid public sector workers full wages even when revenue sharply declined. Provided free water to all households for a year. Provided free electricity to lifeline consumers and a 50% discount to other consumers for a whole year. It is important to note that between 2009 and 2016, the average annual increase in end-user electricity tariffs was 50% per year. Between 2017 and 2023, the average annual increase was 11.1%. We commenced Agenda 111 health infrastructure projects, and they are at various stages of completion. We rolled out the 750 million series CAP bus program to directly support micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises. Established a 2 billion Ghana cedi guarantee facility to support all large enterprises and for job. Cook meals to 27 million vulnerable persons and work with faith-based organizations to distribute dry food packages to 470,000 families. Mr. Speaker, we also have demonstrated what this mindset of possibilities can achieve in the infrastructure space. We increased the road network from 78,000 kilometers to nearly 100,000 kilometers. We've invested significantly in road network expansion and improvement, including the construction of over 2,000 kilometers of asphaltic overlay, as well as the rehabilitation and maintenance of about 11,674 kilometers of roads. Completed the Tamale Interchange, Pokwasi Interchange, Tema Motorway Interchange, Obichibi Lamte Interchange, Flower Pot Interchanges, and other few others are under construction. We've completed and commissioned Prempeh, the first international airport, Yakubu Tali International Airport in Tamale, and phase 1 of the Sunyani Airport rehabilitation. We restored the Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park, constructed 2 major fishing harbors in Elmina and Jamestown in Accra, completed the iconic Tema Mpakadam Railway, initiated the construction and rehabilitation of Achimota Nsawam, Accra Tema, Kojokrom Takwa, Kojokrom Mansu Railway, completed 6 abandoned Eurogate health sector projects and 3 other stalled projects we inherited, including Upper West Regional Hospital, Ga East Municipal Hospital, Tyne District Hospital, Tepa Municipal Hospital, Chief Uprasu District Hospital, Asante Akim Central District Hospital, Formina Hospital, Kopai Hospital, and Kumeu Hospital. We constructed sea defense projects to protect communities We constructed sea defense projects to protect communities in Komenda, Nimbo Prampram, Axim, Elmina, Anumabo, and Keta. We're constructing forward operating bases to enable the armed forces to protect the territorial integrity of our land. Constructed 80,000 metric ton warehouses under One District, One Warehouse initiative. Constructed about 400 out of the 560 small earth dams in the 5 northern regions in fulfillment of the One Village, One Dam promise. Constructed more than 800 sanitation facilities. As a result, we have increased the proportion of the population with access to sanitary facilities from 33% in 2016 to 80.8%. This has resulted in a virtual elimination of cholera in Ghana. We completed the University of Ghana Stadium in Lagos. We built multi-purpose sports facilities at Otima for the African Games, as well as increased public AstroTurf in Ghana from 3 in 2016 to over 150 now. Extended more rural telephony network by increasing from 78 sites in 2016 to 1,008 sites today. Constructed more public libraries and have increased the total number of public libraries from 61 in 2017 to 115 by 2023. We've added 134.1 megawatts of renewable energy to our energy mix from a low of 37.7 megawatts in 2016. Mr. Speaker, we have used this critical mindset of possibilities to reposition our country for the future. Today, we are proud. We are the proud host of the Africa Continental Free Trade Secretariat and the Climate Vulnerable Forum Secretariat. In addition, we demonstrated our can-do spirit when we hosted the 13th African Games, the Africa Development Bank Annual General Meetings, Afro-Exim Bank Annual General Meetings, and just last weekend, the 50th anniversary of Badia and the AU Summit. Clearly, Mr. Speaker, Ghana has become the destination of choice for international conferences. Mr. Speaker, we've also become a regional leader in digitalization, and we are preparing our citizens for the 4th Industrial Revolution. Mr. Speaker, these investments are historic and unprecedented. They make a significant difference in our lives as a nation. To achieve the core objective of economic transformation, we must keep at it. Mr. Speaker, we must complete this together. We will continue to prudently manage public finances and protect the vulnerable. We will support enterprises through our SME Go program, invest in agriculture to impact inflation, address food imports, and preserve foreign exchange. We will invest in roads that advance trade integration and productivity. We will improve housing delivery and optimize land use. We will promote the digitalization drive to improve service delivery. Mr. Speaker, we must do this for the sake of the market women who promote trade in our country. We must do this for the future of school children and young graduates. We must do this to support working parents to build their families. We must do this to enable our businesses set up and step out to take advantage of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. We must do this to protect and care for widows, the aged, and the disadvantaged in our society. We must do this because it is possible. A lot more is possible. Mr. Speaker, we are using this same mindset of possibilities to confront the economic challenges we have faced. Already, we are seeing results. In this mid-year fiscal policy review, we are not seeking additional resources to spend. Rather, we are trying to stay the course within appropriation. Our progress has informed our proposal to reinstate the fiscal rule on the 5% deficit threshold, which we suspended in 2020, and we expect this to take effect in 2025. Let us continue this path with hope and the unwavering belief that together we can achieve greatness. We are building a Ghana that is more inclusive, that is more sustainable, and that is more transformed. Let us rise to the challenge. Let us work together and let us build a future that is worthy of our higher aspirations. Mr. Speaker, as I conclude, I want to express immense gratitude to Allah for His grace, for His mercy, and His favor. He has continued to be generous to me, to my ministry, and to our nation. Even as one of your own, I do not take for granted the support this House continues to give me. I want to acknowledge my predecessor, Mr. Speaker, Honorable Ken Oporiata, for his leadership and dedication of service in the Ministry of Finance. Mr. Speaker, this is important. I want to also extend a special appreciation to the good people of Karaga constituency. I know that their overwhelming support has been vital in serving our country and our constituency. Right, Honorable Speaker, let me once again express my sincere appreciation for the opportunity to present the 2024 mid-year fiscal review to this august House. I thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I thank you, honorable members of this great House. And may the Almighty Allah bless us all, bless our homeland Ghana, and make us great and strong. Thank you.
Honorable members, before I admit comments to the statement that has been made, permit me to acknowledge the presence of more visitors. We have a group by name Abantu for Development, coming from the Ga West constituency. They are led by the group leader, Helen Kwanzaa. There are 15 in number. They are visiting us to see what we do. Luckily, they've seen the presentation of the mid-year budget review. On your behalf, I warmly welcome them to Parliament of Ghana. You are welcome. We also have with us the students from the University of Education, Winneba, properly called Windy Bay. Windy Bay. Yes. It's a struggle to pronounce Windy Bay that is now known as Winneba. They are 128 in number, and they are being led by the Political Science Students President, by name Michael Yeboah. And this university, as you all know, is located in the Efutu constituency, now occupied by the majority leader. And so this is the handiwork of the majority leader, bringing as many as 128 students from the University of Education. You are warmly welcome to Parliament, and you've witnessed how the media review budget has been presented. It's a statement, and now please kindly resume your seats. We get into the end of the day. A statement has been made, and I want to know the pleasure of the House, whether we will start with the comments today or we'll start tomorrow. If we are starting today, how many to take today and how many tomorrow? Yes, please.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for calling upon me to give an indication to the House as to what we intend to do with the statement. Mr. Speaker, first of all, since we have students here, it's important to refer to Order 91.1 and 91.3 of the rules of this House. What the Minister has just done is well rooted in our rules. That, with your leave, Mr. Speaker, I shall read Order 91.2, that the Minister of State may make a statement of government policy, and the statement shall A, be limited to facts which are necessary to be made known to the House, B, not contain matters that are likely to provoke debate, and 3, a member may comment on the statement, and the comment shall not provoke debate. Mr. Speaker, so the statement, as we all know, was limited to known facts. Mr. Speaker, for instance, the Minister has walked us through some major interventions. One, that the school feeding program, which was previously being patronized by 4 million Ghanaian children, in other words, 4 million Ghanaian vulnerable children are benefiting from the school feeding program. Yeah. Mr. Speaker, again, the Minister has simply told us that today, 2024 budget, 6.5 billion has been allocated for the NHIS as compared to 1.6 billion in 2016 by those who are in opposition today. I mean the John Mahama government. Mr. Speaker, leave. These are mere comments, introduction. These are not debates. Mr. Speaker, leave. Mr. Speaker, leave. As of 2016, when they left and they couldn't perform and they left, it was just 49 million that they spent. Mr. Speaker, today government is spending 400 to cover many people. Many of our vulnerable. Mr. Speaker, it is also clear that in 2015-2016, they made some provision in the budget to support education. At the end of the academic year, they had released only 12 million out of the 25 million that they allocated. Mr. Speaker, it is clear from the minister's statement that as of today, government is spending in excess of 400 million Ghana cedis on education. That is the free SHS, which they couldn't implement. Mr. Speaker, these are not matters for debate. These are facts. Mr. Speaker, the IMF program, the minister has said it, and Mr. Speaker, nobody had any cause to question the minister when he said, we are on course with the IMF program. We are on course as compared to 2016, when around this time the IMF came and packed off. The program at the time had derailed because our friends who are in opposition today and were in government at the time could not live up to expectation. Mr. Speaker, the minister has told us that the country must be rest assured the economy is in competent hands. The economy is in the hands of those who understand how to bring back an economy. Mr. Speaker, they have nothing to say, and I'm cautioning the minority leader who is likely to get up after me that don't introduce unnecessary debate. Limit yourself to the facts. Because the rules, Mr. Speaker, per the rules, he is not supposed to debate. He should know that. In any event, if they are ready for us to comment, Mr. Speaker, we are ready today. Yeah. We want to comment on the minister's statement. But looking at them, they are not ready. Mr. Speaker, looking at them, they are not ready. You guys are not ready. I can see from your faces. You are not ready. Mr. Speaker, they are not ready for the statement, the comment on the statement. Mr. Speaker, they are not ready. They are not ready. So, Mr. Speaker, we know that now they are studying Eastern economy. Yes. They've been to Russia to study how the Russians do their things. We are also here. We are looking at local issues.
I see the honorable member for Olote Kole on her feet. Is your leader out of order?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. I believe that it's unfair of the majority leader to assume and point fingers, yes, as the leader of the House, by creating division, by pointing at us and saying we are not ready to debate. You have not spoken to our leadership to inquire as to whether we are ready. So I believe that concluding that this side of the House is not ready, I think is unfair, Mr. Speaker, and we should withdraw that. Thank you.
Yes, yes.
Mr. Speaker, if they are ready on the comment, not debate. Dr. Forson, minority leader, honorable minority leader, Mr. Speaker, if they are ready for us to comment on the statement, then, Mr. Speaker, I would urge them to comply with the rules. Mr. Speaker, if they want us to proceed, I want them to be guided by the rules of this House. Only comment. Only comment. But in any event, you may want more copies of the statement. You may want more copies of the statement. If you need more copies, we'll give more copies to you, so that you can limit yourself to the statement. Mr. Speaker, having said this, I would want to strongly suggest that we take an adjournment to enable them prepare. I accordingly move that this House be adjourned to tomorrow, 10 o'clock in the forenoon, which time would afford them an opportunity to prepare and come with their comment on this statement, ably delivered by the Minister of Finance. Mr. Speaker, I so move.
Yes, minority leader.
Mr. Speaker, I heard my colleagues singing Abemewie, but I just want to say that indeed, Abemewie, you're on your way to opposition. You're on your way to opposition. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, at the very least, Ghanaians expected that this media review would have removed or abolished a number of taxes that has made Ghana a high tax regime to the extent that businesses are moving out of our country and the ordinary Ghanaian is actually leaving the shores of this country. For example, COVID levy, e-levy, yes, boiler tax, tax on domestic electricity, emission levy. Mr. Speaker, this is a missed opportunity. This is a missed opportunity. Mr. Speaker, instead, the minister did not announce one single new policy. No, sir. The minister did not introduce new ideas. Mr. Speaker, unfortunately, Ghana is on autopilot. Our economy is on autopilot. Mr. Speaker, I'm shocked today to have noticed that Appendix 2A, page 107 of the Minister's Media Review and Economic Policy. This government has already missed IMF program already. Mr. Speaker, they have missed the target already. Mr. Speaker, I refer you to Appendix 2A above the line. Arrest clearance. Arrest clearance. Above the line, this government, contrary to the IMF program that we should not accumulate any arrests, have accumulated new arrests worth 4.5 billion Ghana cedis. And you are here saying what? That we have. Mr. Speaker, let me read. Mr. Speaker, let me read. Let me read. Arrest payables. Arrest clearance. Mr. Speaker, in the original budget, this government has programmed zero for the first half of the year. Meanwhile, in the media review, Appendix 2A, provisional, they have actually incurred new arrests worth 4.5 billion. And you are saying what? The Speaker, we are ready to debate now. Now. The Speaker, let me assure him that, the Speaker, we are ready. The troops are here. Honorable Adongo is ready. Honorable Tinapua is ready. Honorable Ampin is ready. Mr. Speaker, at the moment we have 10 members ready to debate now. Today. Mr. Speaker, I am not surprised. But all what I want, they are bereft of new ideas, and that I'm happy that they sang Abemewie, you're on your way to opposition. So, Speaker, I second the motion.
Honorable members, what we just heard from the Minister for Finance came under item 6, statements. It says media review of the budget statement and economic policy of the government of Ghana for the 2024 financial year. The minister premise the statement as stated in paragraph 2. Presentation is going to happen definitely is the determinants of these two. It's a statement coming under the provision of an act. I see that members want to go beyond that. I would time we should engage on debate or statement that is comment, and the minority leader is responding, and therefore setting a tone for a debate. But this is a statement, and you have to make comments. I don't know whether this is one of the special opportunities for us to go beyond, because that too is allowed by the standing orders. There are type of statements that can go beyond the general statement that you make comments. Whether it's the pleasure of the House for us to go beyond that. Because when you go through the standing orders, there are different types of statements. But the new standing orders, there's no space for debate. If the statement is not the ordinary statement, but the statement itself provokes debate, definitely the comments will be responding to the what? Debate. So we will be guided by the fact that it's a statement. I hope that members will be drawing our attention to the areas that are not normal statements, but statements that have shown that there is. Yes,
I'm not interrupting you. But just to draw your attention that...
what are you then doing?
Today we're told that...
You say you are not interrupting me.
No.
But what are you doing now?
No, you just told me. That is to engage with you. But this is just a short comment. That we were told that majority leader... when he was talking, I just wanted to tell you that today we're told that he's now leader emeritus. And I want to remind him that being the longest serving member of this House before he became Speaker, you're also Speaker emeritus. So the discussion being done was emeritus versus emeritus. But Mr. Speaker, you didn't give any ruling. So that's why I was inviting you.
Right, welcome back to our continuing coverage of the media budget review just presented by Finance Minister Dr. Mohamed Amin Adams. This is Business Focus, your most authoritative business and economic analysis program. This is about the longest budget review statement read by Finance Minister. And as you just saw on the screens, the debate is ongoing, but of course it is left to the discretion of the Speaker of Parliament to determine if he would want to take the debate today or schedule it for another day. But of course, you have been watching on Facebook, on TV3, also monitoring on radio. Let us know what you make of the 2024 mid-year budget review statement by Finance Minister Dr. Mohammed Amin Adams. My name is Parkwesi Asari. I've been doing this with Alfredo Kante, but welcome on board. This is Business Focus. We'll take a short break. When we return, I'll walk you through some of the highlights of what the Finance Minister has been saying. Actually, I've been told to go ahead. So these are the highlights of what the Finance Minister has been saying. He says, for instance, that road tolls are going to be back. Road tolls have been reintroduced in 2025. Again, the minister went ahead to say, as we projected, that there will be no new taxes. So there was no introduction of new taxes in the mid-year budget review. The minister further said that about 9.9 billion cedis has been spent on free SHS from 2017 till date. 9.9 billion cedis spent on free SHS from 2017 till date. Also, the target inflation has been revised to 15% by year end. Also, we know that a disbursement of additional 1.5 billion cedis in financial sector cleanup. That's what the Finance Minister just announced a while ago. Also, some key revisions to the macro fiscal targets for 2024. Overall real GDP growth rate has been revised upwards from 2.8% to 3.1%, so a slight revision upwards. Also, non-oil real GDP growth rate has been revised upwards from 2.1% to 2.8%. Growth in GDP deflators has been scaled down from 20.2% to 17.5%. Also, the nominal overall GDP has been revised from a little over 1 billion cedis to 1.20 billion cedis. Right, so end of year headline inflation has remained unchanged at 15%. The primary balance on commitment basis is maintained at a surplus of 0.5%. Gross international reserves, including oil funds and encumbered assets, to cover not less than 3 months of imports. Right, so in terms of total revenue and grants, this has been revised upwards from by 0.5% to 177 million cedis in 2024 from the 2024 budget target of 176 million Ghana cedis. And this largely reflecting an increase in non-oil tax revenue, which has been increased from a little over 14 million cedis to a little over 15 million cedis. Total expenditure, we're told, has also been revised downwards by 2.1% to a little over 219,700 million cedis from the original budget projection of a little over 226 million cedis. Now, this revision is largely on the back of interest payments, which has revised downwards from over 7 million cedis to reflect the impact of the external debt restructuring on external interest payment. So, you know, quite a lot of revisions haven't been made to the 2024 mid-year budget review. But one of the most instructive things to note is that the government, and of course that's a topical issue here on Facebook and a lot of media, social media outlets, the fact that government has decided to reintroduce the road tolls in 2025. This was a major policy statement then by Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta, and that policy came in, was actually scrapped for the e-levy. But there was no mention of e-levy in this, media budget review statement. There was absolutely no mention of it. We know that the vice president, who's now the presidential candidate of the New Patriotic Party, has indicated that when voted into office as president, he will abolish the e-levy. His finance minister talked about the fact that they're going to reintroduce the road tolls, but he makes no mention of the e-levies. Very, very interesting there. My panelists are still in the studio right here. Edwin Ebobakman, he's an economist. He's joined us right now. We also have Samson Asaki Awengobit, and of course our representative from Guta, Mr. Apiakubi. Gentlemen, thank you very much for staying tuned to us here, and welcome to Business Focus. I'll start off with you, Mr. Ebobakman. I know you've been monitoring since this started. What are your preliminary comments on the media budget review?
Yeah, Pakwesi, let me say a very good thank you, this one to the good people of Ghana and to my colleagues here. Pakwesi, I am